games are the cause of violent behaviors to emerge on young adults and younger people exposed to it, as well as devouring our American way of life. And not to mention, it is a waste of time. Now, the following is actually stated by my consistently nagging parents, because, you know, parents always nagging about me playing video games and wasting my time, and as well as several news medias and intellectuals. And I won't disclose it to you because, you know, because I might be into post-hoc fallacy of some sort. Nevertheless, in their own rights of opinions, they are correct. Video games being a way to violent behaviors because, you know, we've seen it upon children developing onto it because they play too much violent video games. Oh, a mere waste of time because, of course, I've wasted a little bit of time on it, and devouring our traditional beliefs. But yeah, because we want to replace it into role-playing into it. But what they don't realize, well, at least I do hope that they realize that video games do have the potential to be that educational source in terms of teaching others how to perform and retain a job, as well as looking into ourselves as people in society. Now, as we see here, of course, according to this poster, which is a game called PacMan, which is by Namco, 1980, and according to the benefits of video games, an ABC News article, which they interviewed Scott Steinberg, an IT tech expert, circa December 26, 2011, they said that, well, they at least got answers from that in PacMan, you must navigate your character through a spatial layout, while monitoring the separate paths of 4 additional objects, which I think you can see 5, but that's the latest edition of PacMan, while keeping the overall goal of clearing the small pellets in memory, as well as keeping track of the remaining pellets. Now, this can also be applied in pathfinding skills, mainly driving, in which you gotta get to your destination, which in this case is the small pellets. You gotta, or at least complete your work. As well as watching out for other cars, or maybe in the job force, other co-workers. And you also gotta watch out for cops, because you don't want to go over the speed limit, because they might catch you for going over it. And also you gotta look ahead, because those ghosts can actually trap you and kill you. And this can also be applied in time management skills, because when you complete it on time, you actually get a time bonus, which actually gives you points, in which it will give you an extra life. This can also be applied in most jobs, in which if you arrive on time and complete your work, you might even get that bonus, that Christmas bonus of some sort that you've been wanting for your family, or even a raise on your job for being a good worker. Now, bear with me in this. Skills are not all video games have to offer in teachings. In fact, video games can, even violent ones, could leave a second opinion about what is around you in your own life. I would explain you more, but I believe that Grand Theft Auto 5, the Rockstar game, made by Rockstar Games in 2013, can explain you more about it. By the way, this is one of the endings, and be aware that this is a little bit graphic. Oh.
You know, Devin, the way I see it, and hey, I'm no intelligent businessman like you, but the way I see it, there's 2 great evils that bedevil American capitalism of the type that you practice. Number 1 is outsourcing. You paid a private company to do your dirty work for you. And then you underpaid that company because you thought you were big enough and bad enough that you didn't have to play by the rules. Oh, number 2, offshoring your profits.
Offshoring?
Oh, it's horrible. You wouldn't want to be sent offshore just to save a little money, would you, T?
Oh, I wouldn't. Oh, no, I wouldn't go nowhere.
No, see, but we know your opinions on the matter, Devin. Keep your problems the fuck out of America, huh?
Oh, sorry. And are they actually true here? In some respects, yes, they are. Because, according to alternate.org, was it? In the Tom Hartman show, the show host, Tom Carl Hartman, who is, of course, the American radio host that hosts the show, a former psychotherapist and an entrepreneur himself, states that state and local governments are facing a lot of budget crunches. And in an effort to make ends meet and bring in the money, many of them are handing control of public services and jobs to private corporations. Now, this can also be backed up by offshoring, which is mainly from what I've learned in macroeconomics class of this college, Karen Baylor, who just recently got her doctorate's degree, that in outsourcing, people do it to save money. But the drawback of it is that if that fails, then they lose a lot of money, and a lot of people lose their jobs because of it, in order for them to keep money in their pockets. Now, there should be a pattern that you all should have seen about education in general now. Let me explain this pattern with Miyamoto's Musashi Books of Fight Rings, interpreted by Stephen Kaufman. The sword, when understood well, is merely an extension of your arm, and that when you perform techniques, it is supposed to be whole to yourself. A little bit about personality of some sort. It's teaching. Also, that you gotta express yourself. Now, if you switch some of the semantics around for this, as to how you should succeed in life, video games is just merely one of the paths to extending your mind. Just like how books, arts, and education systems are extensions of the mind to understanding skills needed for career success and yourself as a person. And I don't necessarily want you all to play video games, just to get to understand it, but find your own way to learn, to absorb information, because that will be your competitive edge, especially when finding a job.